Are you lazy or burned out? Yes, you hear me correctly. Are you lazy or are you burned out? I'm pretty sure you have heard this term before, especially if you're a high achiever as I am. But what is being burned out exactly? Burnout is a state of mind, physical, and emotional complete exhaustion. Yes, exhaustion. So if you are burned out or if one of your team members is burned out, you're gonna notice a difficulty to engage in the day-to-day activities. People no longer care. They were very excited about work, about life, and then they don't care anymore, or they seem like they don't care anymore. And that actually doesn't change. It keeps going down, down, down the energy level. And I'm not talking about being demotivated. That's a different thing. I want to talk about why taking time off is not the answer for burnout. And you're gonna say, Christy, what are you talking about? Yeah, taking time off might feel that it's going to help you a little bit, but it's not the root cause. So you're going to feel the same level of exhaustion again. And what I want for you is that you caught that for good and for all. Today, I'm going to share with you 6 different strategies that I compiled. They are very effective that you can apply in your day-to-day with yourself or your team members to avoid burnout. But before we get into that, I want to share with you 13 warnings, red flags that you need to be very aware and observe. Is that happening to you or your team members? Are you ready? Some of the symptoms can be having a negative or critical attitude at work all the time, dreading going to work every day and counting the hours to just leave, having a constant low energy state of mind and body at work. You have trouble sleeping. You are feeling physical symptoms too. Headaches. You're getting sick constantly. And I'm not talking about being stressed because our type of industry is stressful, but I'm talking about the consistency or the frequency that you're getting sick or having these headaches, especially if you don't suffer from any specific illness before. You get irritated easily by your team members or your supervisors, your managers, your superiors, your clients. Everything irritates you. And you don't understand exactly why, and you are not like that. You feel that your job, your work, the effort that you put together is not being recognized or seen. You're thinking about quitting or changing to another role. Does that sound familiar to you? I bet it does. Why is taking time off not the option? The causes of being burned out are not necessarily only because you're stressed, but most of the times it's the combination of high-level chronic stress day-to-day at work and at home, both. Some factors I want to share with you so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. Work-related causes. You have too much work or little work. Believe me, having too much time to spare, feel not productive because you are not productive, and that can create also burnout, ironically. So it's either overwork or not enough work. You're being micromanaged all the time. Now you need to consider here why you have been micromanaged. If it's something that you are not performing, if you are a bottom performer, either a manager, supervisor, or there is changes going on, if it's something temporary, those are things to consider, okay? Overly demanding expectations in a new role. This happens a lot when people get promoted and they haven't find a good, solid replacement. So you have junior leadership as staff members that they don't know how do they operate correctly yet, and that curve most of the times impact your workload because then you're doing double work. Work has become boring, there's no games, monotonous, there's no challenges. Or the other side, chaotic. Like, it's a lot of pressure all the time. This happens a lot whenever you manage multi-geographies or you manage multi-clients or you are doing a startup or country development. Usually a lot of things happen at the same time. Is high pressure, chaotic all the time. This is now live factors that can impact in your burnout as well. Let's say that you're at work and then you have all these responsibilities and then you come back home and then you have all the responsibilities too. That creates a level of exhaustion, like to the roof. This is very sensitive because that probably means either you're alone and you have the responsibilities alone, Two, you have a non-supportive partner, and this is very serious, either a male or a female. So you're absorbing all those responsibilities at home, or you haven't evolved at home as you evolve at work. What does that mean? Let's say you and your partner are working together. You started in one position, got your career path, then you got promoted. Both are working very hard to get money for the house, right? And then you haven't really reassigned things at home. Let's say you have a baby changed the dynamic. So now you have extra money, and instead of assuming all those costs on time benefit, you can hire somebody to help you either taking care of the baby or can help you cleaning the house once per month, every 2 weeks, every week. I'm giving you just very specific examples of things that you can tune that are budget friendly, but it's gonna liberate time. Let's say that you hire this person once per month or every 2 weeks or once per week. Combine the money of the two partners, you can pay that and you liberate a whole Saturday or a whole Sunday cleaning the house yourself. And does that make sense? Leave me your comments. Now there is some other personality traits that can add to this burnout dynamic. Let's say you are a perfectionist. To all my perfectionist friends right there, from a former perfectionist, which is something that I personally keep working on, that creates exhaustion, because then instead of moving forward, you want everything perfect to the detail, and then you are accumulating other stuff. Okay, so pay attention to that. You are a pessimist. And yes, if you're a pessimist, you're gonna say, oh, I'm a realistic person. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You are a pessimist, you're a pessimist. That's a mindset thing, and that's something to work on in a different video, because if you don't open your mindset to a growth mentality, then you're gonna be stuck not only in a career burnout, but that is gonna limit your opportunities to advance in life in all the dimensions of your life. And then of course you're a controller. You want to control everything. Yeah, that create extra stress. And no, you cannot control everything. What is not part of a low performer strategy is not healthy for our teams. Now you're ready to crush it next time with this 6 unbeatable strategies to avoid burnout for yourself and your teams. Number 1, work with a purpose. Yes, you're gonna tell me, well, Christy, I'm working just to make money. Well, that's then an issue, because once you get into a supervisor, manager, director, VP position, there has to be something else, something that can impact the people in a different way. And no, you don't have to quit your 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 or whatever is your schedule to look for that purpose. I actually have a list of self-inquiring questions that can lead you to understand what is that flame on you that can get you to discover the purpose, and you can integrate that in your day-to-day. My calling is developing people, developing leaders to influence their teams in a way that can be impactful, not only in the current position, but building long-lasting relationships that can really change generations to come and create that change. That's one of my passions. So if you want to explore what is your purpose and what you do, you can join my next virtual event. The link of the waiting list is below in the description. I'm going to make a pause here, because if you are one person that feels that you are motivated by money, just like me and many other people that I have met in my career, it's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. But there is something always more than money. And that's when we need to stop and see what is it that can give some meaning. But if you are an extrovert versus an introvert, that can change also. If you are in the right role, if you are more an analytical person or a people's person, that's gonna determine if you're in the right role. One person asked me once, well, what if there is an IT position and they offer you $10,000 per month, whatever? And people are gonna say, oh yes, I don't care about what I have to do. I will do it for the money. But no, I can't be an IT person, because that is more an introvert role, for an introvert personality. People that are most likely in compliance or in security or in certain positions, unless they also have some sales attributes that needs to be connected with clients in the sales process, usually high-level positions in senior management or C-suite, you are more process-oriented into numbers and digits and just creating the software, and you enjoy that. and is okay with that. However, I don't enjoy that. My strengths are on building confidence in analytical, using that information and creating plans and action plans. I'm a gap filler. So you need the clarity to understand also your personality types. Number 2, perform a job analysis. And what does that mean? You need an audit. And I'm going to give you an example. We lead an implementation of a group of 100 people, new business, and it ramped to 300, 400, 500 in 2 months. Yeah, a lot of work. Let's say that in that process, there was a couple things that people in sales did not consider. It was a new line of business, and people in operations were working throughout the way. Let's say that many of those things were manually. Now we have 3 months, 6 months, and things continue to be manually. So the first thing is stop and do an assessment on the roles. Yes, sometimes people acquire extra work unnecessarily. That's where technology and automatization is going to bring that breathe, so you can focus your energy on whatever needs to be focused on. Now, during those implementations, when you are starting a new project or you change from one position to the other, if you have a pilot program, which is very common nowadays, it's very easy to accumulate tasks that are not important anymore. Maybe they were important in the beginning, but they were not important anymore. So doing that time audit is going to help you to understand not only your own mechanism, but the operations of your team, especially when you lead multi-clients or multi-geographies at the same time. Because one country might be doing some things that another country is not doing, or they might be doing the same thing completely different. So that's when you need to make a choice on what is more effective, how, and then standardize it. Number 3, give to others. Yes. Delegation. To all my controllers here, very important that you understand when and how to delegate. After you make that assessment on all the things that you are doing, which are the things that you really need to do? Prioritization techniques are completely tied to time management, goals setting, having a to-do list, deadlines well defined, and who does what and how and when. Yeah, it's very different that you say, to do it right, I have to do it myself. That means that you need to either train this person to develop this new skill, or you don't have the right person in the right position. Number 6, learn how to manage stress. And in order to do that, you need to understand your emotions. We talked about this in the previous class, so if you haven't watched that class, the link is in my description. Do not miss it. One of the biggest mistakes is that people don't understand what is causing that stress and recognizing those things, because sometimes it's not only work. Most of the times it's a combination of different things. What are the habits that you're having? Are you committing too much into things, personal or at work? Are you saying yes just because? Are you scared to put boundaries? Do you know how to actually put those boundaries? So now you understand why time off is not the solution to burnout. There's many other things that you can assess to understand why are you burnout, or why specific members of your teams burn out. The fatality of being burnout and not recognizing that burnout is that the emotions can get very volatile. People can get very aggressive, and they don't even know. They don't even realize that they've been rude at work or at home. And most of the times it does get into kids if you have kids. So do not wait to be burnout to take action. Does this video resonated with you? If it did, I have the solution for you. If you're ready to recreate your goals and uncover a mind-blowing career development acceleration blueprint for yourself, very soon you're going to have the unique opportunity to sign up to my VIP 101 Executive Mentoring Signature Program at Shift. So stay tuned, because I will only have 15 spots available for a very short limited amount of time. Get in the waiting list. The link is in the description. Like this video if you like it. Share it to other people in the industry who are determined to level up their career this year. And see you next class.